What's up, guys? This is Johnny Talks Baseball. I am Johnny. Welcome to the channel. If you guys haven't watched my other two videos on my intro and on my hat collection, I would highly recommend. Please check those out. Hit the like buttons on those videos and please subscribe to my channel. My goal is 100 subscribers. That will give me the ability to customize my URL so I don't have this ridiculous, long, nonsensical setting of numbers and letters as my URL. I can put up something a little bit more simpler. So please, guys, help support the channel. Today, I will be talking about some news. Two big things that have happened in the world of baseball over the past couple of weeks. But today is the anniversary of Hank Aaron hitting home run number 715 that broke Babe Ruth's all-time career home run record. And that was back in 1973. So we're talking about 47 years ago. We all know that Barry Bonds later on broke that record, but most people want to forget about Barry Bonds breaking any sort of record. But anyways, I'm wearing in dedication Hank Aaron's Milwaukee Braves jersey. A little plug-in, I will be having a baseball jersey video coming out later on today, so stick around for that. I know some of you guys have nothing else to do, so you can stick around. But anyways, just want to make a shout out to Hank Aaron for accomplishing that. He's still alive, he's still kicking. Every once in a while you can catch him on a Braves broadcast, so if you ever get the chance of hearing him talk live, it's the coolest thing to have someone still at his age be able to talk about old-time baseball. But anyways, two things that I want to talk about today. One of them, it's a little bit of old news, happened about a week or so ago, but the MLB and the Players Association have come to an agreement on are the players going to get paid or not. So yes, to answer your question, yes, the players are going to be paid. There's not going to be any what is called no time of loss, so the players are going to get paid as if they're still playing, which is good. So many of these players were worried, how am I going to survive? A lot of players have very small contracts, and they were worried about not being able to pay, especially for new players that got traded to new teams. Some players were worried about not being able to pay for the place that they just got. So the only real concern about this agreement, yeah, it benefits the players in the most part, but for players, say, who just signed a 1-year contract or have 1 year left on their contract, say, for example, Trevor Bauer, love the guy, great pitcher, but had a mediocre 2019 season. He has 1 year left on his contract with the Cincinnati Reds. So his concern was, are teams going to base my performance on my 2019 season? And this is only to say if the 2020 season is completely canceled. We're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. But say 2020 season is canceled, it's going to be tough for players who want to get re-signed either to the team that they're currently on or to a new team, because a lot of teams in the 2021 season are going to be looking to cut corners. They're not going to look to pay out big time for players for a short amount of time. They're going to look for players that are going to be worth it, that are going to be cheap. And so hopefully, we have a 2020 baseball season. Not only for the sake of guys like me who are fans, but for the sake of guys like Trevor Bauer who are banking on the season happening and having a good season out of that, so they can be able to re-sign either with their current team or with a new team. Second note of news, it's been happening for the past couple of days, and many of you baseball fans have heard about the rumors of there being a start to the 2020 season starting in May, which that kind of surprised me, just knowing the situation here in the United States, with well over 300,000 people being diagnosed as having COVID-19, and the chaos that's going in New York right now. So it was really surprising that the MLB and the Players Association are in the talks right now about trying to start the season in May. And obviously, yes, they have consulted a lot of medical professionals and trying to formulate strategies on how to run the baseball season as safely as possible, not to get anybody sick, not to expose anybody. So here are some of the stipulations that they have been talking about. So one, implementing on electronic strike zone to allow plate umpires to maintain sufficient distance from the catcher and batter. I like that idea, not only just for the safety of the umpire and the batter and the catcher, but maybe this could be the start of something new. Have an electronic strike zone. Maybe this is the beginning of the end of the home plate umpire. It would kind of suck because it would put a lot of people out of jobs, but for a lot of fans and especially a lot of batters who tend to argue about certain pitches that may have been outside the zone that are still being called strikes. Yeah, this maybe could be something that could be implemented even when the season becomes a little bit more normalized and we allow more people back into the stadiums and back in the close quarters. So that's the first thing that they're going to be talking about. Number two would be no mound visits from the catcher or pitching coach. Pretty simple. They don't want interactions with too many people in close proximity. So that's, a pretty simple thing that they're going to be talking about. This one's interesting. 7-inning doubleheaders, which with an earlier than expected start date could allow baseball to come closer to a full 162 game season. And so this was something that a lot of people have been thinking about. Is there going to be a full 162 game season like there normally is? At this point, it's not looking like, in my opinion, I don't think they should have a 162 game season. It's just very taxing on the players who are playing games day in and day out, and just even them thinking about having 7 inning doubleheaders. That's 14 innings. I mean, yeah, it's not like the regular doubleheader where there's 18 innings, two full 9 inning games, but still, it's very taxing. I think they should stick to 9 inning games and maybe cut the season in half. So that's my little opinion on number three. Number four, regular use of on-field microphones by players as added bonus for TV viewers. Okay, this is something that I fully support. This is something that they were doing for the past couple of all-star games. They started doing it during spring training, and I think it's just a really, really interesting thing to be able to hear either batters at the plate or fielders out. More likely, more than not, out in the outfield where there's a little less action going on. But to be able to hear the thoughts and the reactions of the players as the game is going on, I think that's really cool. I know the XFL were doing on sideline field interviews during the game, so you can get the thoughts of the players as they're in the game. So I think this is something that's really cool. I know the MLB has been trying to come up with ways to bring the game back to a younger audience. I know that the MLB has really not come up with any really great ideas for that. Other professional leagues like the NBA, the NFL, even the NHL have really done a great job reaching out to a younger audience. And I think this is something that younger people can latch onto, is being able to relate to players, because there's not a lot of baseball players that have really big personalities so much. And so it's not like, the mid to late 90s where you had guys like Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Derek Jeter, Barry Bonds, these larger-than-life characters. There's not really too much. Even, the greatest player of our generation, Mike Trout, God bless his soul, is not a very marketable guy. He's very much, I just want to play the game sort of guy. Something that I can really respect. He keeps himself out of drama, but he's not what I would call the face of the MLB. So someone has to really step up. Maybe someone like a Bryce Harper or a Javi Baez or Francis Lindor or Ronald Acuna Jr., someone who has attitude, who has a bombastic personality, who can be that guy to represent the league. So I think something like having on-field microphones to be able to talk to the players. I know there's several videos out there. My favorite one right now is Freddie Freeman during the 2019 All-Star game. Talking to the guys up in the booth while he was being pitched to by Justin Verlander. That was a kind of funny experience. I know Anthony Rizzo and another Cubs player, I keep on forgetting his name, but they did an on-field thing during one of their spring training games. So that was really cool, really funny to be able to hear the players in a much more relaxed atmosphere. And then lastly, players sitting in empty stands 6 feet apart, the recommended social distancing space instead of a dugout. So obviously, just like the mound visits, they want to keep players as far apart as possible. I know it's going to be a tricky thing when it comes to locker room space, because when you have over, 30 people in a locker room, it's, maybe they're going to allow maybe 15 people in a locker room at a time to dress and undress and get ready for the game, and then the second half of the team could do so right after they're done. So this is something that is really interesting too, which leads me into something that a lot of other people are wondering. Stadiums, audiences, what's the deal with that? So one of the things that they are going to be talking about, which I feel like is going to be the best thing for baseball, at least for this season, is to not have people in attendance at the games, to be able to allow the players to keep their 6 feet of recommended distance, to keep each other healthy and safe. That can only work is if there's only nobody else aside from the broadcasting crew, the coaching staff, and the players on the field in the stadium. And so, and all this news was brought to you by Jeff Passan from ESPN. So I just want to give credit for that. I didn't really do so much research. I'm just reading off of what Jeff has been talking about here on this Instagram post. But anyways, that's the news for so far this week. I know there's not a whole lot going on in the world of baseball right now, but I am praying to God that they can come with some sort of plan to have baseball start in May. That would be really amazing, especially with just all the craziness that's been going on. I think this is something that could be really good for the U.S. to be able to be at home and watch live baseball, because I've been watching a lot of old games, and it's really great to relive the past. But I've been really excited about this season to see great players on new teams, and I'm yearning for it. I'm itching for it. So thank you guys for watching this video. Like I said before, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I will be coming out with a second video today on baseball jerseys and my personal collection of baseball jerseys. So thank you guys. God bless you. Have a great day.